Hey everyone, I'm back with a tag video. I know that every time I come back after a book review, there's a tag video right after, but I have a reason because I was tagged this time. This is the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading tag. It was created by Malyza at BookishlyMalyza. I will leave the link to her channel and her original video if you want to check that out. And I was tagged by Sam at the MidnightReadingOwl. Thank you so much for tagging me. I've been wanting to answer these questions and do this tag for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So thank you very much. I will leave the link to his channel and his video below as well. Alright, so how this tag works is the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading. And each question has to do with one of the 7 deadly sins, but it has to do with reading. First one is greed. What is your least expensive book and what is your most expensive book? The least expensive book that I have is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I got this book at the Salvation Army for 79 cents, and I think that's the cheapest I've ever gotten a book for. So, good deal, in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of cracked spine right there, but it's fine. There's no pages falling out, so good deal. And my most expensive book, or I should say books because they're over there on my shelf, are my leather-bound classics from Barnes & Noble. All of them except one were $20, and I have 4 that were $20 and 1 that was $10. Granted, 2 of the books that I have are from Christmas, but that's the most I've spent on any book. But I can't help it. They're so pretty. And yes, I have read in them. They're not just there to look pretty and gorgeous on my shelf. They have been used. I adore my Barnes & Noble classics, though. They are so gorgeous, but they burn a hole in my pocket. Alright, next one is Wrath. What author do you have a love-hate relationship with? Good one. I think an author that I might have a love-hate relationship with is, and you guys are really gonna kill me, and I'm sorry, but this is just how I feel. My experience with it is Veronica Roth. I know you guys are going to like throw stones at me or something. I know that's medieval, but let me explain. I think I have a love-hate relationship with her because when I read Divergent, I loved the concept of it. I loved the different factions and how they were broken up and stuff, and how you have to choose and whatever. But when I read it, I just wasn't amazed or wowed or blown away by it like some other people are. Like most people were blown away by it, and I didn't really see it as anything special. It just didn't blow me away like everyone else. There are a lot of issues with it that I had. If you want to see my review of it, I'll link it below if you want to watch it. If you want to see my thoughts on it in greater detail, I don't know. There are a lot of issues, and I kind of feel like I'm the only one in the world who feels that way. Hopefully I'm not. Sorry for any of you Divergent Insurgent fans. Next one is Gluttony. What book have you deliciously devoured over and over with no shame whatsoever? I don't really reread books, but I have considered rereading, and I think I will probably reread this series over and over and over again, and it is the Nevermore series. I just love these books. They're incredible, and I love them, and I can't say enough about them. They're just gorgeous inside and out, and yeah, I would definitely reread these in a heartbeat. Next one is Sloth. What book have you neglected reading due to laziness? That's probably half of my bookshelf. The book or books that I've neglected due to laziness is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I think it was 2005 or 6 when I started this, and that bookmark has not moved. I've neglected reading this and finishing it, and the book is in horrible condition. And I really, honestly, do not think that I will ever read this book. And the other books that I've neglected due to laziness are the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I started them back in the summer of 2007, I think. I tried reading it, and I just couldn't get into it for some reason. I have a bind-up over there on my shelf, but I don't think I'm gonna get through them. Alright, next one is Pride. What book do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? Well, I don't think a book can define how intellectual you are, or if you are an intellectual reader. I know lots of people do that to make them sound smarter. But, to answer the question, the book that I talk about the most and go off on so many literature-related, I don't know, rambles is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. There's a reason why I chose this book, because it affected me when I read it in 10th grade, and the messages that it brings just has stuck with me, and whenever someone mentions this book, I feel like I have to share my knowledge of this book and what I got out of it, because I think it's a brilliant book, and it has so many good points and symbolisms and themes, and that you could really integrate or relate to in ordinary life. This book, if you mention anything about it, I will talk about it non-stop. Alright, next question. What attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? Well, I'll talk about what I find attractive in male characters first, because I'm attracted to men. And then I'll talk about what I like in female characters. In male characters, I like when they're very, very intelligent, and they kind of own their intelligence, so to speak. They aren't ashamed of it. I love when male characters can blow me away or baffle me with their intellect and their insight and their knowledge. I don't know what it is, but I'm really, really attracted to that when a character does that. I like male characters who are witty and humorous. I like male characters who are deep thinkers and contemplative, and they think about life, and they just think a lot in general. I also like when male characters have a noble and endearing side to them as well. It kind of makes them more complex. And complexity in male characters is one of my favorite things. I also love male characters to have a tragic side to them. I don't know what it is. I just really like a male character, not so much female, but a male character to have either a tragic past, or they're tragic, or there's something tragic about them. Just to give you an example of some male characters that I like who have these traits are Vera Nethers from the Nevermore series, Sherlock Holmes, Elle from Death Note. Yes, I know Death Note. I watched the anime and it was flippin' amazing. And Dr. Spencer Reed from Chrono Mines. All of those characters are amazing to me. I just love how intelligent they are and how they think and feel so deeply, and I don't know. I just love it. I love my male characters. Female characters, I love strong-minded, strong-willed, determined female characters who can stand their ground and are very intelligent, independent. I like female characters who can handle themselves in difficult situations, whether it be a conflict with another character or a conflict outside of themselves that they have to deal with or they are faced with. I like female characters who persevere and keep pushing even if it's the hardest thing they have to do. I like female characters who think for themselves and aren't swayed easily by other characters. I like when female characters are confident in their abilities and who they are, but I like them to also have a very vulnerable side, but it's kind of buried deep inside them that they don't really show. Examples of female characters that have these traits that I love are Katniss Everdeen, Johanna Mason, Isabel Lanley, and Elizabeth Bennet. Alright, last question. Envy. What books would you most like to receive as a gift? The books that I would like to receive as a gift are Sherlock Holmes Barnes & Noble Classics Leatherbound Edition. I think that copy is gorgeous, and there's so many things on it that are so Sherlock Holmes, and I think it'd look wonderful on my shelf. I know I have a leather-bound addiction. And I'd really like all of Jane Austen's books. I don't have all of them, but I'd like to collect all of them and have them part of my collection. That's it. That's the tag. Sam, again, thanks for tagging me, and I really enjoyed doing this tag. I think it's a great tag. I know it's like delayed, but whatever. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more book reviews and book-related videos. Bye!